We are actually preparing to leave the Pacific Northwest. Tomorrow morning we head out to Nia Bay and then we're going. So Mike has found a little bit of a problem.
I think the only way I'm going to feel comfortable with it is if we can replace the whole chain plate.
Things just went from bad to worse. Mike went to fill the tanks and put a few minutes of full throttle hose running before he realized that he didn't have the hose in the water tank. He had the hose in the diesel tank. We're Mike and Taylor. And these are our dogs, Penny and Lucy. We sold our home and nearly all of our belongings, moved onto a 40-foot boat, and sailed from Seattle. Embarking on the adventure of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
This is the story of us forging our own path, exploring the world in Via, figuring it all out as we go, and making our way.
So my concern is if the fuel guy comes out and doesn't feel confident that we got all the water out, then we're dead in the water here probably for a little bit.
Okay.
Until, I don't know what that means. We'll discuss it with him. But if he does say, yeah, I feel confident that we got all of it out, I'm just going to probably religiously monitor the Raycor filters to see if we get everything. Yeah, I'll run just the pickup pump for a while through the filters. When we're not seeing any water, then run the furnace for a while, because I'd rather stall that out than the main engine. And then the main engine. And then on the way out here, just keep checking them. I think maybe when we start getting into the swell, I'd switch to tank 1. That's our clean tank that didn't get water in it. I'd like to get out through the big waves, because we're going to see the biggest waves on our first day and night, which will mix up the tank the most. So I want to run on tank 1 then, and I want to run on tank 1 going into port. But if he can get out here today, feels really confident about getting all the water out, and we're running things and we're not seeing anything pick up in the Raycors, we should be good.
And then we're going to leave tomorrow morning.
Like maybe even before the sun. Well, definitely before the sun, I think, but even before the sky's light, maybe.
Oh, my stomach hurts. My stomach has hurt for 3 days straight.
But we got some stuff to do today.
Oh my God, do we have some shit to do today?
Alright, I gotta get busy.
Alright, bye. So we have to take apart this whole bowsprit, take down the sail, take down the forestay, rig up a temporary forestay, take apart the stanchions, unbed the entire bowsprit, and move the boat over to the fuel dock in, I think we've got 4 hours. So, here we go. So the amazing Monty from Angelus Welding Solutions solved our chain plate problem for us. Worked all day Monday. We called him at business open at 8 a.m. and he was down here to look at it at 9 and had an entirely new chain plate fabricated for us and worked really late into the evening. He was here past sunset installing it, for making sure that everything was perfect, which was absolutely incredible. Yesterday, Mike and I just spent the entire day getting everything put back together. It took 2 hours to dismantle and about 7 or 8 to put back together. And honestly, morale here was not very high. We were just really, it's a lot, you know. It's hard to communicate sort of what it takes to prepare for something like what we're about to do. Getting the boat ready, obviously, but getting our bodies, our minds, everything ready to face all of the question marks, you know, that are about to come our way. And to have that all come crumbling down in an instant by discovering the chain plate and then with the fuel, to just have all of that you've been developing and building and preparing for in every dimension, like, come crushing down on you. It's a lot. It's been a lot. So we didn't really film anything yesterday. We got everything put back together. Everything looks good, but the most frustrating part of this whole thing is that there is just a huge and beautiful weather window that's happening off the coast right now. Mild, benign, something we're both really comfortable with. And all of the models are forecasting like 10 days out or 2 weeks out. It goes and it's gone. Like, things do not look good for the next like 10 days to 2 weeks. So what that means is if we can't take advantage of this window, you know, we're here for a while, which is fine. Like, another window will appear, but we're now looking at the beginning of September and it just has really, really big implications. So the good news is that the fuel guy is going to be here tonight, and so if he can get this looking good, we are going to try to take advantage of this weather window. We know for sure we can get to at least one of the ports in Oregon, if not all the way down to Crescent City. So it's been a roller coaster. Oh my god, it's been a lot. You guys, it's been a lot, but I think we're shifting into gear here. We're gonna get this thing ready to go, and maybe we'll be pushing off tomorrow morning.
Alright, so he's got the hose down into our tank all the way to the bottom, and then it runs out to his little pump. Alright, so I think he took 15 gallons of water out, which is about, I kind of thought it was 15 to 20 gallons. And he feels really confident that we got it all.
He does, that's good. Bad news makes a convoluted brain when you're on the water and this is your life, and you're not thinking clearly if you've got bad news, because ours happened within the hour of finding the crack in the chain plate and realizing that everything was disintegrating. And that's how it happened. So if you get bad news, if you live on a sailboat and you get some sort of, you're having a hard day, just don't do anything. You just stop,
just sit down,
and you sit down.
Have a beer or something.
You have a beer and you let the dust settle, period. So lesson learned on that one. But here's how things are shaping up. It looks like we are still going to try to go for it tomorrow morning.
The weird irony is the reason I was in a rush to fill the water tank was because we were thinking we were going to have to sail back to Bellingham to get the chain plate fixed. So that stopped us from going, maybe screwing that up. And there's no way we would be making this current weather window if we were in Bellingham. So I'm going to run a bunch of fuel through our Raycor filters and drain out any residual water, and then we are getting this boat ready to go, doing a last quick provision and laundry, and the plan is to leave super early morning tomorrow from here in Port Angeles, go out this straight and just take the left in one shot. So should be good.
This
my haircut?
Yeah, this shelf I made for you is really prominent today. I like it.
You don't have time to give me a haircut before we go, do you?
That might be an en route situation.
There's no way you're cutting my hair on the high seas.
Could it be worse than that? Because it's already pretty bad.
I think we'll wait till we get into the next port.
Okay. We made it to Nia Bay. Nia Bay is the corner of the United States, I guess, the Pacific Northwest, right? And we had kind of a rough ride here, some really big swell, like 15 plus feet. Our plan is to just take care of a couple things. We're just triple checking the water in the fuel tank situation, making sure every last drop is out. Making sure the dogs get some food and some water in them because they did not like that much. And then we're going to pull right out. We're not spending the night here. Our plan is to just go. We've been warned by quite a few people that this area, as soon as you sort of like pull out into the Pacific, is just notorious for sloppy, huge, confused swells, like and waves, and just really awful conditions. And many well-meaning people have tried to assure us that it's the worst you'll see the whole trip. Like, it's pretty terrible. And if it's anything like we just saw, it'll probably be something. But I'm eager to go because I don't want to be looking at any of that in the night. So I want to cover as much ground in daylight hours as we can to get out of that. So it's just a quick pit stop here. It's really beautiful. It's very smoky, actually, right now. I'm going onward out into the Pacific. We're making the turn here in just a second, so it's happening.
To the ocean.
Next time on Sailing Via. We made it to Newport, Oregon. And we're gonna be in Newport for a minute.
And it's like blowing a gale and higher for the next 10 days.